Hey YouTube, I'm Matthew Barth, and this is Industrial Strength Coffee. Today, I was thinking about the taste and smell of coffee. By and large, we know what coffee's like. It has a bold, rich aroma, and it tastes of, well, coffee. But coffee can be a lot deeper than that. Sometimes we take that first sip, and there's just some sort of je ne sais quoi. Well, today, I want to explore that a little bit more, so that next time we have that sort of experience, we know what it is. To get started, let's look at what information the roasters provide us. When you look at most bags of beans, there's some sort of tasting notes written on the side. So let's look at a couple of the bags I have on hand and see what they have to say. So this one appears to have notes of blueberry, almond, tea, and floral. What does that mean? Well, I suppose that depends on the roaster, but in general, it means a mix of 4 different things: aroma, dominant notes, mouthfeel, and finish. I haven't tried this coffee yet, but let's assume that this Ethiopian Sidamo follows the same formula. When the taster first interacted with this coffee, they got a full nose of something that reminded them of blueberries. But once they took that first sip, there was a nutty, almond-like flavor. As for tea, it may not have meant that the taster encountered tannins when drinking the cup of coffee, but rather, it went down smoothly and easily like a cup of tea. And once the taster had swallowed their sip and there was nothing left in their mouth, perhaps there was a lingering taste of something plant-like or floral. Unless you are familiar with that specific roaster, it can be really tricky to figure out what specific notes refer to. And really, what do some of these terms even mean? It helps to know that many roasters are relying on one source for coming up with these terms, and that is the World Coffee Research's Sensory Lexicon. The Sensory Lexicon is a tool for understanding and measuring coffee flavors. It can be downloaded from the web, and I'll provide a link in the description for that. But what it really does is give specifics as to what things were referenced in the taster's mind when they mention specific aromas or specific tastes, and how you can experience those exactly the way they did, so that you're mentioning the same things when you experience a cup of coffee as they did when they experienced theirs. As an example for this, let's take a look at the previously mentioned blueberries from the Ethiopian Sidamo. The lexicon describes blueberries as the slightly dark, fruity, sweet, slightly sour, musty, dusty, floral, aromatic associated with blueberry. As a reference, it asks you to sample Oregon Fruit Products canned blueberries in light syrup. In order to experience the aroma of blueberries, it asks you to scrape a teaspoon of the syrup from the canned blueberries and place it in a medium snifter. In order to experience the taste or flavor of the blueberries, it asks you to serve those canned blueberries in a 1-ounce cup. By putting it in a specific vessel from a specific manufacturer, it allows the experience to be recreated anywhere in the world. I'm not going to dive any deeper into the document, as I've already linked it below. Honestly, for those of us who don't live in the US, it can be really tricky to get our hands on some of these products. But it still allows us to standardize how it is we're talking about these flavors or scents in a way that we can share and draw the same conclusions with others. In order to make this process easier for us, a number of organizations have reformatted the lexicon into a pictograph in the form of a coffee wheel. A good example of this can be found on Counterculture's website, which I will also link below. When working with this flavor wheel, it's best to start in the middle and work your way outwards. Once you've had a chance to take a look around the wheel, take a sip of whatever coffee it is you have on hand, and then direct your attention to the center of the wheel. Based on what you tasted, try to pick a broad category first. Then narrow in on specific flavors or smells that you're detecting. Don't worry if you're right or wrong, just start with noticing how this coffee might be different from others you've tried. You can always come back to this after studying the lexicon, if you happen to be a perfectionist. I'm not doing this to rate or review coffees. I'm doing this so that I can learn what it is that I like about coffee, so that I'm able to purchase the right beans for me. The more I can identify which notes I enjoy in coffee, the easier it becomes to take the right bag home from the roaster. I really hope this helps you find the best coffee for your tastes. And until next time, enjoy your coffee.